What's up, guys? Really quick before we get into the episode, we had some sort of audio issue. I don't know what happened here with my board. I'm coming in super loud. Tanner's coming in kind of soft. So if you're wearing headphones and listening to this, I apologize in advance. We'll get this figured out and solve for next issue or next episode. But before we get going, this is a great episode too, though. A lot of draft talk, a lot of coaching talk, and just a little look at the playoffs. So yeah, hope you enjoy, and we will see you episode 177.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
It's another edition of the WCB podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom. It's Tanner. What's up, bud?
It's all right. Things are going okay, and not great.
And are you referring to in Blackhawks hockey, or are you talking about a bigger picture of life? Just want to make sure if you need a vent or anything.
Blackhawks hockey.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you're good and everything's all right.
Yeah, no, I'm great.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, so we'll get right into it. Tonight was the draft lottery, and it was the moment of truth. Will the Chicago Blackhawks be drafted in the first round, either first or second overall, or will the Columbus Blue Jackets be taking our first round pick? And in probably one of the most boring draft lotteries in the past couple years, Blackhawks wind up 6 overall, exactly where they were projected to go.
Blackhawks end up with nothing.
So, yes. So what that means is the Columbus Blue Jackets will be drafting 6 overall, and the Seth Jones
12th.
And 12th. Yeah. The Seth Jones trade is officially done, completed. There's nothing hanging out there. The last FU from Stan Bowman to Blackhawk fans is completed, right? Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, you can argue the Seth Jones contract, but I think the whole top 2 protected draft pick is a bigger FU than the Seth Jones contract.
Yeah. He's going to be a huge important part to the team for the next, at least.
Say this every week. Yeah, we talk about it every time Seth Jones comes up. You know, we are Seth Jones guys, and we will fight for him as long as we need to.
Hey, maybe next year he'll get the green jacket because they're going to be fucking bad.
Yeah, just missed out. Did we talk about that last episode?
Yeah,
just missed out. You know, just -10 from Keith Yandel, who picked it up. So he's got some work to do, especially with Yandel retiring, probably, most likely.
Yeah, so that's the pick is traded. So they have our 6th overall, and then we have their 6th round this year.
Totally fair.
So a 6 for a 6, baby.
All right. So the news came out. Blackhawks did not win the draft lottery. What was your initial reaction or feeling?
I was upset when I didn't see them at 7 or 8. I was like, but also like the fact there wasn't much movement. But it was kind of funny because I had it on, and I had to go pick up my wife, so I had it playing while I was driving. I wasn't watching; I was just listening. But like after they did the Hawks pick, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then I forgot the next one ended up being Ottawa.
So Hawks were 6. Then it was Philly dropped.
Philly did. So I was like, "Oh shit, Jersey, no fucking way!" Like, how are they? I don't know. They keep getting like really high draft picks. In the last,
New Jersey. 5 years. New Jersey moved up 3 spots. They're drafting 2nd overall. The Coyotes dropped down to 3rd. Kraken dropped down to
classic Coyotes. Can never get a top 2 pick. They always get dropped back.
Hey, just so you guys know, if any glass half full situation here, in 3 or 4 years, their 3rd overall pick will probably be a Blackhawk if history writes itself. So last time they drafted 3rd, Dylan Strome, miss your consistency.
Hey, yeah. I mean, we'll see what the Blackhawks get at 3 in a few years. So
yeah,
it'd be nice. Yeah, but I think that the really cool thing that ended up happening is the fact that Montreal did end up winning the the draft lottery, especially since it's going to be in Montreal. So I think that's going to be pretty cool and wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I just think it's hilarious that I've seen online. I think it was pretty funny. It's like, man, the team did a speed run of like being one of the best last year to the worst this year, going from cup final to first overall. Like, had to be done.
That just shows like how
somebody was going to do
insane.
it. It's going to be the Montreal Canadiens, one of the most like storied franchises in the league.
That just shows it how insane of a season that was. Like the whole playoff situation when it was just like a giant free for all, which was awesome. I never want to see it again, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't even remember where they ended up. Like, what is it like in the standings? Like
They were
league
16.
standings.
They were the
Wow.
last team in the playoffs.
Oh man, is it like actual 16 or were they like lower?
I think because of what last year was only the top 16, right?
Yeah, but it was top 4 from each division.
Oh, so
They
they
were
yeah
18th. They were 18th in the league.
18th in the league, but so they were the last seed.
They were 4th in the fucking Canadian division.
Yeah,
But they were 18th in the league and then went to the cup final. So I mean, it's not like it was that crazy that they finished last this year. They went from 18th to last.
That's
It's
the funny
insane
thing.
how well like Carey Price played in the fucking Stanley Cup playoffs. But like, you lose him, you don't get a full season.
Shea
with,
Weber's
like,
gone.
Weber, you have you have awful coaching, and nothing from Cole Caulfield until like February, which we talked about last week. Yeah, and like your team's just dog shit. It sucks, but whatever. You still got Nick Suzuki.
Was Max Domi? No, he got traded from them to Calgary, right? Or Carolina.
He's in Carolina,
Yeah.
Carolina's up 3-0 right now too. They just scored.
So yeah, I mean, very boring draft lottery. I think so. My initial feeling when it came out, like,
what a goal! Oh my god, sorry. The Carolina guy on the ground, I think it was Seth Jarvis. He was on his back and he tried to swat the puck back towards the center of front of the net. It went off a DeBrusque skate and popped over Jeremy Swayman and then fucking went in.
It went Boston.
Swatted at it, it went pop and like over. Oh my god, it's so weird. What a weird fucking goal. Yeah, sorry.
So my initial reaction to the whole, like, Hawks, I was cheering for every time, from 16 down. I was like, come on, Blackhawks. Come on, Blackhawks. Like, I was just hoping they got as low as possible.
Yeah, they could only get to 8 though. That's the
right.
thing.
That's true. But
so you're just like hoping for an odd miracle where they're like, in a strange turn of events, the Blackhawks drafted 14th overall.
Hey, weirder things have happened in the draft lottery.
It's like you didn't read the fine print in the draft lottery. Like, if a team does not win top 2 and has a draft pick up for grabs, it can be no earlier than 10th. It's like.
If you've listened to this show at all over the last month or so, when we try to talk about the draft lottery, clearly I have no idea how this thing works.
It's the new rules, man. You actually had it right though, because it's like they can't move. You can't move up more than 10 places. It's only top 2, and you can't win it more than like twice in
5 years,
3 years, 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever. But then I was like, you know what?
What do they consider winning it? Like first, or is like first. Does Jersey get like a technical win because they moved up to second?
I believe it's first overall.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I believe I'm 98% sure it's first overall.
Okay.
Because I mean, yeah, you win one, but you lost the main prize.
Yeah, but you moved up from 5 to 2, which is pretty big. Like typically, usually like a second overall is like an NHL ready player versus 5, which is like a maybe.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested in looking into that and see what that actual ruling is. But I'm actually happy. I'm glad that they didn't fall in the top 2 this year. I mean, it would have been, for me, it was number 1 or nothing.
Yeah.
Either get Shane Wright or you lose the pick this year. That's fine. I want first overall next year.
Yes.
I want Bedard or however you say his name.
Connor Bedard.
Bedard. Okay, I was right the first time. Fuck. Stop questioning myself. Anyway, I want.
So here's the thing: the Hawks are going to be really bad next year.
Yes.
Is it like? What do you think the chances are if we're last in the league that the draft lottery goes 3 years in a row that the worst team gets first overall.
Ooh, the fact that if it would be the Hawks, is that maybe like the true punishment for everything that happened this last year? The Hawks get a chance at first overall, and they're like, no,
You guys are bad.
yeah. I don't know. I don't odds. I don't think are in the Hawks' favor for that. I think like if that would feel like the year that it would get flipped would be that year when the Hawks have a chance, because realistically, I think the Hawks win first overall next year. Plus, you make some moves at something we're going to talk about in a little bit in coaching, and you have the cap space again. I mean, there's a quick turnaround on this rebuild, possibly.
Yeah,
that's a game changer right there.
It would be nice, and then you get all the people that would just be like NHL rigged. They want the Hawks to be good.
Ooh,
man, I do too. I want the Hawks to be good as well. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know this. People might say this is biased, but the league is better when the Hawks are good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's better for the league. It's more marketable. You have a major city involved that, it's better. The NHL is better off with
6 team.
Yeah. NHL is better off when the Blackhawks are good. And call it bias, whatever. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'll
it's
say
true.
it, man. I ain't afraid.
Do you want Davidson to go nuclear to get a first round pick this year?
I mean, it would be great for the rebuild, but I don't know.
Theoretically, you got to look at who would
what catches gets a first. Kane and DeBrincat, really.
Right.
That's like a guaranteed first. Nobody's going to be going for Seth Jones with his $9.5 million starting this season. I don't think a team that's like in the position to like acquire like a top defenseman has the cap space for that kind of shit.
Kind of threw it out there before. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or if it was in our like group chat, but Islanders at 13.
Yeah.
Work something out for maybe Taves.
Yeah, but we're like.
No, I know. Like that's
I don't think that's a first worthy,
Right, and I think that might be the closest thing to like not Kane or DeBrincat being moved. Like
it would. I think you would have to like mark up some massive package that moves a first, and then frees up cap space in order. And it's not just Taves, but it'd be Taves plus, like, I don't know.
And it's tough because you can't really do that because you're in a rebuild, so you don't want to give up assets or prospects.
Right. And like who's valuable on the team? It's Kane and DeBrincat. It's like the most value. I don't see, like, we have nothing of value to like any, but I guess Connor Murphy would be good value too.
First though.
Not a first though, yeah. Without like retained salary.
Would you dangle one of Tampa's first rounds they traded us?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. That, I mean, moving up in a first.
Yeah.
Like a future first, that's probably gonna be a later round pick for a mid round, more recent first. Yeah, I would do that. I think it was the Islanders that were saying that like they were willing to give up their first this offseason, but I might have been some other. Fuck! I wish I wrote it down, but I think it was like some team that when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's really surprising, and now I wish I fucking knew what it was.
Well, all right, so here let's go past the top 10 because none of those teams are going to trade their pick. The Sharks, Blue Jackets at 11 and 12 will not. 13, New York Islanders. I could see them moving it. I don't think the Hawks have what the Islanders would want. Winnipeg, I could see. And I could see them taking a chance at Taves if they can make it work. The hometown kid and all that kind of stuff. Vancouver doesn't make sense, and I don't think Buffalo trades that 16. I think Buffalo's going to want the two first.
Yeah, I think Buffalo is building on young talent.
So you're really looking at 13, 14 are the only possible picks up for grab in the top 16.
Yeah.
And I don't recall, maybe you do, but is this draft class deep or is it kind of a weaker year? Like
I mean, I haven't heard like every time I hear about like the draft classes, it's always like next year is like the year.
yeah.
So I'm sure, like I'm sure the fucking top 10 is still gonna be pretty fucking good.
It always
And
is,
like
yeah.
every other draft, there's always gonna be somebody going like 15 to 30 that just ends up shitting on like most of the fucking top 10 picks. I feel like that's happened like over the like last few years. That's what's been going on.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much out there on like the guys that are going to be like, oh, top one, like top or top 5, and like they get hyped so hard, and then out of nowhere, like the season starts and you're 3 years down the line and you get like somebody else that's a later round draft pick in the first round that's just like, oh, this guy's way fucking better than them.
Personally, I don't want I unless it's a deal that just seems too good to be true. I don't want him forcing something to get in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm very content with the 5 picks we have between the second and third round. I mean, we got 5 picks in the top 3 in the first 3 rounds. And then we have 2 6 and a 7th.
We don't have what, a 4th and a 5th? Is that
4th and 5th we don't have. Let's see.
Those traded away.
5th was traded.
And the Hagel deal. Oh, the 4th was traded in the Hagel deal.
Yeah, the 5th was traded in the Janmark trade last year.
Where we got a 2nd and a 3rd.
Yeah, which was Colton Dock.
So we have 3 third rounders this year, and I mean the Oilers are still in it. They technically could still move up to a 2nd rounder, as well as Minnesota. I really kind of just want Minnesota to fucking win, so that we can get a 1st and not have to worry about not having a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
Like
one time you're gonna pull for the Wild.
But only to like make the what is it? They have to make the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to reach the conference final.
Yeah, with Marc-Andre winning 4 games.
I mean, he's playing.
He started every so far, right?
Yeah. They haven't switched to Talbot yet. So.
Fuck, poor Cam Talbot, man.
Dude, he was an all-star this year. And they're just like, no.
Everybody talks about the disrespect Marc-Andre gets, but then
you should get that sword drawing with Talbot in place of Fleury.
Oh my god.
Sword in the back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Hawks know something about the 3rd round this year that we don't, because they're just like, yep, 3rd rounders this year. Let's get it.
Well, those were all Stan moves, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Stan's the one that's scouting the players.
No, I know.
3rd round this year is going to be stacked. We need to fucking load up. God, what a fuck.
Where's that quote to from Davidson?
Well, the good thing is next year we have all of our original picks so far still. And then we have Tampa's 1st and 2nd rounders, because we got that 2nd rounder in the Tyler Johnson trade.
Oh yeah. We got Tyler Johnson and a 2nd rounder to not have Seabrook on our books.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I don't know. I feel like Tyler Johnson, like I really want him to play, but I feel like maybe he's gonna just end up on LTIR because he was so injured this year. I really just would rather see him play, and then if he gets enough value, like he can fucking get moved as well. Like
I like Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, I just don't have any like hard attachment to him. Like I think he's a decent player, but like he's somebody that I think would have more value than a lot of other players on the team. But like I said, he's kind of injury prone.
So here is Kyle Davidson's comment. Kyle Davidson comments on not having a 1st round pick. He goes, now we know where we stand as we prepare for the upcoming draft. We won't have our own 1st round pick, but we have 8 other picks, including 5 in the first 3 rounds. I have faith in our amateur scouting department's ability to make the most of our selections this summer. So it sounds like
He's just going with the 5 in the
he's
first
standing
grade.
pat, yeah. So the only chance
that's fine because
that's yeah.
Like I think just because you get a first round, it doesn't mean you're going to automatically hit on somebody. I think if they're focused on like the guys that are being scouted in the second and third round, since they have so many picks, like you have 5 chances in those 2 rounds to get a solid roster player for the future.
And it happens all the time. It does happen where guys draft in the second and third round, fifth and sixth round, surprise and make an impact quicker than some of the guys in the top in the first round. You know, like
yeah. Like I'm just trying to look at like what they've got in the past like couple of years. Like it'll be. I'm excited to see how Davidson drafts and like what he goes with because I feel like a lot of times like when the Hawks are up and on the clock and then they never choose like best player available as listed like whenever they're doing like the draft analysis. They always kind of just go like way the fuck off the board.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the most part, I don't think it's worked out that great.
No.
Over the last few years, at least, man. Like I know they really were reaching this past draft for Nolan Allen, and I don't know how that's gonna work out. Still, then they decided to draft like Kirby Doc's brother, and like I think that was a pretty questionable one.
And I'm sorry, and I know we defend him all the time in the show, but I'm still kind of saying Kirby Doc. I mean, I don't think he was in projected top 3 or top 5. Like, and that was kind of
projected in the top 10. I think he was like top 6, but like the top 5 was what it was Turcotte, Bowen, Byram, and Dylan Cousins.
Yeah.
And then they went with because I remember when we we heard that they drafted Doc, we were like, wait, who? Like,
yeah.
Which one was that?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's not saying anything against Kirby. It's just goes to the fact that not drafting like the next like best available guy, right. It doesn't always hit, and the Hawks have kind of gone like just proving your point. The Hawks have gone that way off the board and all that kind of stuff, and it's a little.
And they don't have the track record that like Steve Yzerman has. Like,
right.
Steve Yzerman goes off the board and then gets a fucking gem, and the Hawks go off the board, and then it's like, okay, is that right? Like, I think even with Lucas Reichel, I don't think he was best player available at 17.
Oh,
I think he was higher 20s.
Sider wasn't. Everybody when Sider got drafted, everybody's like, "Why would they do that?"
Sider was a huge surprise, and now that kid's going to possibly be Calder-winning defenseman and probably one of the top defensemen for the next 15 fucking years.
He will be up for a Norris within the next 5 years, I bet.
I doubt it. I feel like he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna put up the same amount of points that like Hedman and Yossi and Makar put up, but I think he's gonna be more noticeable defensively and like all around. It's just like an unbelievable player. I think.
Let's put a pin in that because I want to talk about that too.
And Adam Fox puts up a lot of points too. I don't know if Sider's gonna put up as many as like a point per game that like a lot of the Norris Trophy winning defensemen fucking get, but I think he's gonna be recognized as probably one of the best defensemen in the league. Like that kid is just he's sick. It's amazing. I love watching his highlights.
He's so
it's so crazy.
He's so strong, man. The amount of like reverse hits he threw this year. Oh
yeah. God. The other thing too is I'm just looking at like the Reichel draft. Like Drew Commesso, like hopefully that turns out to be a good pick. But like we've said plenty of times before, goalies are a crapshoot. They got Landon Slaggert, who was on the U.S. national development team. I think he was on the USA junior hockey team when they won gold with Zegras and Caulfield won it. I think he was on the team.
Yes.
He was on that team. He played in Notre Dame. Like, I don't know if he's going to end up being like anything super special. I just like, there's nothing really like Vlasic. I hope he turns out to be really good. I liked him. He was a second round pick. Like, I feel like they have better. I don't know, man. I want to say they have better picks, but it's because I don't expect much of the second and third rounders.
Right.
And they typically end up trading their fucking first rounders anyway.
Man,
Alex DeBrincat, second rounder. There we go.
I'm just looking at I'm on Cap Friendly, looking at in the system or non-roster players.
Yeah.
Besides Lucas Reichel, man, I don't get excited looking at any of these guys.
Right. They don't get the bar moving.
That's fucking terrifying, man. That's legitimately scary. We are so far behind potentially in this rebuild already.
Yeah, we're not one of those top fucking farm team teams at all. Oof.
Yeah, I know. I said last week I like the bones of this team, and I could potentially see a Rangers Kings rebuild, but taking a deeper look at this, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, right. I think where we're gonna be hopefully okay is on defense, just with how many young, hopefully good defensemen we have. Just to name a few, there was Jakub Galvis, who got a few games this year, who I thought played pretty solid defensively. We know about Wyatt Kalynuk. He's more offensive minded. Ian Mitchell's trying to settle in, and I think he's more of a two-way kind of guy. Nicholas Bowden, he was a former first rounder.
28th, right?
27th.
27th.
Yoki Haru is 28th.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. And then Alec Regula, who ended up finishing the season with the Hawks, I think he was playing pretty well. We had talked about Vlasic; he was playing well.
Isaac Phillips played a couple games. He looked pretty decent.
That was early season 2. That was with Colleton, and team was shit, and he was playing pretty okay. And he was a 4th rounder this past draft, or no, the year before. Sorry, in 2020. But yeah, those kinds of things that I'm more excited for. Whereas the only forward that we have that hasn't played a full season that's in the system is Lucas Reichel.
Yeah.
Who I'm excited to see. But there's nothing else. Only other young guy I would have been excited to still have is Hagel. I think I'm excited to see a full season with Ketchuk and Radish now too, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting too. I mean, God, Evan Barry. Remember when we all thought he was going to be the shit?
He was going to be another goal scorer, and I don't know what he's looking like in Rockford, but they're still playing. Speaking of Rockford.
Yeah, I mean, you got anything else you want to talk about, with the draft pick and all that, or?
No, I'm just I just get excited for this kind of shit, especially since we don't have Hawks in the playoffs. It's just kind of I want to hear more about off-season plans, and I kind of want to look more into where they're going to be drafting, and I'd maybe look into the scouting reports on those positions and see what would make sense. Yeah. And hopefully the Hawks, I don't know, the Hawks have been drafting D heavy, I feel in the earlier rounds.
Got to go forward, man.
I think
we have way too much.
We got to get some wingers.
Our defense is such a surplus right now that I'm looking at this who can we possibly trade to either A, bring in some picks, or B, bring in some prospect forwards.
We had 8 draft picks last year, and we drafted 4 centers and 4 defensemen.
Yeah, that's no.
Defense, center, defense, center, defense, center, which is weird. And then the year before with Lucas Reichel, it was left wing, goalie, left wing, D, center, D. Kirby Dach, defenseman with Alex Vlasic, left wing, center, goalie, D. I don't know. I feel we just don't draft wingers. I assume they just are looking for guys that they can end up putting on the wing, I guess.
We're just gonna draft really good defense and make our defense so good that we win 1-0 games.
Yeah.
That's got to change this year. I'm sorry. Yes, just real quick talking about Rockford. They just swept the Texas Stars. The biggest thing about that was game 2. I believe it went to overtime. It 1-1 overtime, and the Hawks end up winning, or the Ice Hogs end up winning that 2-1. Soderblom, 69 saves on 70 shots.
Nice. Arvid Soderblom.
I wouldn't hate him getting a look next year.
I mean, everybody can get a look next year. It doesn't matter. We're going to get lit the fuck up.
I mean, he's only 22.
Yeah. Would you, I don't know if you'd rather let him play well in Rockford and succeed, or just like leave him hanging out to dry on the Hawks.
Emergency situations have him come up.
Oh yeah. Like
I think that's how you picked it up. You pick it up maybe towards the end of the season. You bring him up and let him
look.
Yeah. But let him keep playing in Rockford, proving his point down there. Let's see what his numbers this year.
He set the record for most wins in Rockford, right?
Yeah.
Or is it most wins in Rockford, or is it most wins for a rookie?
I think most wins in Rockford. Okay. See, I love Cat Friendly except for their stats part. Like, they don't have good goalie stats on their site.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's why I always have hockey reference up as well.
All right, so
that's mostly like NHL stats.
Oh, it's playoffs.
Yes.
He played more than 2 games. He finished 21, 15, and 2 with a .919 save percentage and a .276 goals against average.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
and like the thing that I kind of like about that team is like the defense. Like all the young guys are playing playoff hockey right now. When do they? So I'm assuming. All right, I have their stuff pulled up. Jesus, I'm trying to see who's on the Ice Hogs right now, like during the playoffs. Here we go. You got Jesus Christ, Ryan Stanton still in Rockford. How long has he been there? Oh, he left a while ago and came back. That's funny. Okay, sorry. Sidetracked my. I fucking ran into him at a bar back in like 2012 with the Hawks had just finished a preseason game, and I think he played in the preseason game, and it was like right after they were at this bar my buddy used to work at, and I was just like, "Yo, that's fucking Andrew Shaw, that's Patty Kane," and then I turned, he's right there. I go, "Yo, aren't you Ryan Stanton?" And he's like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, aren't you Ryan Stanton? Like, didn't you play tonight in like the preseason game?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man." I was like, "Sick, dude, good job." He was just like so surprised somebody fucking recognized him in, like downtown. Oh yeah, but like, let's see, what is the fucking sorry, I'm trying to read this. Italicized are in the starting lineup. Oh, cool. So like Regula, he's on there, down there. Ian Mitchell, Kalnick, Isaac Phillips, like Lucas Reichel. He's fucking playing well. He scored a goal in the first game. Like Jakob Galvis, like all these guys. Mike Hardman. I forgot about Mike Hardman. Mike Hardman got out Mike Hardman by like Sam Lafferty and Brandon Hagel this year.
Did they just sign Mike Hardman too to another deal?
Did they?
Yeah, it was for like 800 something.
Oh, they might have. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's got 2 years starting next year with 800,000. But yeah, he's honestly like, I think Reese Johnson is a better Mike Hardman.
Yeah, I like Reese Johnson a lot.
I fucking love Reese Johnson actually. That was one of oh man, what was it when the Hawks were doing those like auctions? I forgot which jersey it was, but Reese Johnson's fucking like signed jersey was going for more than like Seth Jones and like 3/4 of the team. And I was just like, damn, somebody is a fucking huge Reese Johnson fan because the jersey was like $8,000. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Reese Johnson's parents not realizing what it actually was they were actually doing.
He was hurt at the time too.
Yeah,
like, he didn't wear the jersey.
Well, that was the thing. When we went to Jalmerson night, and they were doing like auctioning off the jerseys that they wore during warmups, and Dice's game plan was find a guy that isn't playing, that's a healthy scratch or whatever, and even that jersey was still going for like a shit ton of money. It's so funny how that works.
Right. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, anything else about the Ice Hogs? Like they're just
No, I mean they're
way too
facing the
good.
Wolves. That series gets kicked off Thursday in Rosemont. The Wolves are a fucking wagon.
Not a far travel for either team for this
No,
series. That's
it'll
good.
be interesting. Love to see Rockford win, but Wolves always hold a special place in my heart, especially with after we had Lindsay, the head PR guy for the Wolves on the show.
Oh yeah.
He always hooked us up with some tickets for the Hawks or for the Wolves. It's always a good time. So it's a win-win situation there. But I hope Rockford goes deep into the playoffs, get those kids some experience.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's what I want. I want to see it. I mean, right now Arvidsson's got like 1 goal against in 2 games.
Yeah, it's insane.
Keep it up, bud.
Yeah. One quick little note before we get to the last kind of big topic that goes with Hawks talk and NHL talk, but Team USA announced their World Championship team. Seth Jones, Caleb Jones, and Sam Lafferty get the call for that team, which is going to be really cool to see Lafferty play out there. I mean, it's not like it's Olympic or anything like that, but it's still World Championship is still kind of a big deal.
More hockey, man.
A lot of NHL players go there. Rosters always get bigger once the playoffs gets end. A lot of guys go over there. And then it was announced today that Seth Jones, Captain America, Seth freaking Jones. Let's go, bud.
It's exciting.
Flex that $9.5 million.
It's not even. It hasn't kicked in yet. He's still in that 5.4.
So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Those games usually are on NHL Network, at least for the USA games. I don't know what their schedule or when that actually starts, but that should be cool. Hockey fan, the pursuit for the Stanley Cup is on, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer for the most exciting playoffs in sports. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $100 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during the playoffs with DraftKings same-game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet $5 on any NHL team to win. Get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. My last big topic for Hawks talk, and we'll also use it as transition NHL talk. If you've been following this show for the last year or so, when the whole coaching situation has come up, we have always hoped for one guy that we were like, man, wish he was available. If he is available, you make that hire. There's no way he's going to be available, but if he was, we should make him available. Well, boys, Tanner, somebody has listened to our
timeth have cometh.
For some reason, the New York Islanders relieved head coach Barry Trotz of his head coaching duties.
Yeah, I think that Lou Lamoriello is kind of like lost his shit a little bit with this call.
What? Like, it makes zero sense.
With I understand like a disappointing season, and especially after making the Eastern Conference Finals the last 2 seasons besides this one. But just getting their season just got fucked. With we talked about it before, but the way that their season started, fucking 13, 14 games on the road. Then COVID, in December, fucked the team up, and it's just a lot of shit that most teams will never have to fucking go through. The fact that they still almost make the playoffs.
They're still in. They were in
the hunt until last couple days of the season, and it's just wow. I'm glad, and I think it's a dumb decision, but I'm glad.
Oh yeah. So when that news came off, my immediate thought was, why has Kyle Davis not announced that Barry Trotz is the new Chicago Blackhawks head coach? Why haven't we heard that yet?
Mm-hmm.
why this move makes sense for the Hawks. He's an experienced guy. He knows what he's doing. He is a proven winner. He has got amazing systems that he can go and make a difference for this team that is rebuilding and needs an identity, needs some structure after the last couple seasons of just nothing, like juggling since Quinville got fired. It's just been a whole like shit stain. Like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, here, you do this, you do that, blah, blah, blah. There's no consistency there. Trotz changes that. He puts in an amazing system. Our defense is brutal. Trotz is a defensive coach. Like, holy shit, what that can do.
He turns teams into like very defensive teams and turns goalies into Vezina nominees.
Like, there's no reason why Varlamov should have been anywhere near consideration for that.
Oh, Lehner too.
Lehner, yeah.
Lehner, before he came to the Hawks, was Vezina nominee.
He turned freaking Ovechkin. He turned Ovechkin into
a plus player when
he was
when he was normally a minus 30.
Like, hold on. Okay, let me look this up really quick. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't consider this. When did he start coaching?
Which team?
Washington.
Washington was 2014-15.
Okay, so 2014-15 was the first year. Okay. Ovechkin was a minus 35 the year before Trotz came. Turned to a plus 10, a plus 21.
Here's the other thing, too. I'm looking at when the Islanders, the year before Trotz came in, I think that they were close to last in the league in like like goals against. And they were 22nd in the league. Just in the standings. His first year with the Islanders, they finished 5th in the league. And then 1st in goals against. Let me see, like I remember this happening because I was just like, it's insane how bad they were. The Islanders went from dead last in goals against to 1st in goals against when they acquired Barry Trotz. Like, that's incredible.
Why did they fire him? Like, he's a one funky season,
right?
Watch the Islanders like
up year.
Watch the Islanders just fall off the map next year.
I think they made the playoffs every year that they had Barry Trotz. Especially, I mean, he was only there for the last like 4 years. So I think I'm not wrong.
I like when you go to Google Barry Trotz, the first thing that pops up is why did they fire Barry Trotz?
Yeah. He wasn't even there for a full 4 years. He was only 3 years and 10 months. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, were the Islanders considered a rebuilding team when he was brought in? They were 22nd in the league.
I mean,
they were
not good.
Were they on the? Was that when did they lose Tavares? Was it before then? I can't remember. With all these years are getting mixed up.
I know. COVID has fucked everything up. Like,
yeah. But still, like, that's just it's pretty fucking incredible. Just the change in the defensive mindset and like skills of the team. I don't think the roster changed up that much, but to go from like I swear to God, it was a 100 goal difference defensively. Because oh my God, I can't think anymore because this is just incredible to me. 2017-2018 was the last season before Trotz came in. They had 296 goals against and 264 goals for. And then his first season in 18-19, they had 228 goals for. So the goals for went down a bit, but their goals against went to 196. It's literally a exact 100 goal difference. Like, can you imagine if the Hawks were doing that? But like, here's the thing, though. I don't want the Hawks to be that good next year.
So, okay. So that was my next note on here is why would bringing Trotz not work for the Hawks? Or why would it not make sense for the Hawks?
It would. I mean, for the future, it would be great. For next year, when I'm thinking we're hoping at getting a really high draft pick, to kind of speed up the rebuild. Like that's the thing. I think he would slow the rebuild down because of how good he is.
Or could it be the rebuild takes a different approach because you have somebody
I don't want to keep taking different approaches.
No, but I'm not saying like the last year where they went and they added a bunch of guys. But I'm saying is kind of mentioned this earlier in the season when we were talking about coaching situation is bring this he's a proven guy, proven winner. Nobody knew there was not a thought in the world that he was going to be available.
Right.
But if you bring him in, you keep the bare minimum, like what you're going to do with your roster this year.
Yeah.
Let him establish his culture, his identity, his systems into the team.
Yeah.
See where this team goes with what is given there. Hopefully that still leads to a first overall pick.
I
bring it in, and then you could potentially plug in, it might save us a year.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, I would love to have his system, like for a team that's so like shit defensively, to get one of the best like defensive minded coaches in there.
Like, don't get me wrong. Bringing Barry Trotz in, I would not want this team to change whatever the plan is that Kyle Davidson has. I know it hasn't really been stated how he's going to rebuild with bringing players in and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying go out and sign Malkin. Don't go out and sign, like all these guys that can make a difference right now. Let the guy come in, build his culture with the guys that are going to be around. Let him start putting his touches on the start of the Nets core.
Yeah.
And then if they could turn into a first round pick next year, I think that just benefit. I think that's more of a benefit than it harms the team and harms the rebuild. I don't think much will change because you have to think still, the question mark is who's in net.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take for this team to buy into the new system and really grasp this new system? This team might not click till the end of the season when they're already out of playoff contention and well on their way to worst odds or best odds for the first overall. You never know. I
don't think he would choose to go to the Hawks with considering the teams that are available.
Right.
I think the team that makes the most sense is like the Winnipeg Jets.
How many teams or coaches that are like bubble guys where they like, oh man, I might be fired next year. Like, I could totally see the team fire me. Then all of a sudden Barry Trotz comes available. Like, how many guys are just going, fuck.
Yeah, shit. Fuck. Like, I might not have a job.
I know Lindsey Ruff was probably one that was like, oh shit.
But let's see, the teams right now that just have absolutely no coach are the Jets, the Flyers, the Islanders, obviously, the Red Wings.
That might be another good one.
Yeah. And then I don't know like what coaches are interim head coaches besides like Derek King, Andrew Brunette in Florida. That's another thing. Like if they get eliminated in the first round, that's another team I can see like Barry Trotz going to.
You're kind of taking a Quenneville-esque type coach, and put him right back to a team that was run by Quenneville, has been running Quenneville's system essentially for the whole year.
I don't know who else is like interim, but it doesn't seem like there is any.
Philly
doesn't have a coach.
Yeah,
they fired you. I can see who doesn't have a coach, but I can't tell who.
I know Dallas is potentially looking for a coach. Vancouver's potentially looking for a coach.
Vancouver has Bruce Boudreau.
I don't think he's extended. I think they declined his. I think he signed. There was like an option or something.
Oh, it says on. Oh, this is on Cap Friendly. It's kind of weird. They just show like unknown for a lot of coaches, or it shows like what their actual.
I think Nashville's coach is coming up. Could
Oh,
they
John Hines.
could they bring him back?
Oh yeah, I guess a lot of these coaches their contracts are done at the end of this year,
They
or
were saying like I was reading something that was saying that there's like going to be a huge surplus of
Edmonton,
coaches.
Edmonton.
I saw Vegas.
Montreal. It doesn't show anything for Martin St. Louis.
Martin St. Louis he said that he will be coaching again next year. It's just a matter of them coming to an agreement.
He did a pretty good job.
I think he was with
they
it.
get a first round pick, they get a first overall. I think that's pretty fucking.
I think
they're in a good spot.
Yeah, for how he worked with Caulfield and all that kind of stuff. Like, and the team kind of responded with him. So, I mean, I would run with him unless you can get a Barry Trotz. But
yeah, right.
I keep saying Vegas as an option.
Yeah,
Vegas lost their identity. Their owner. We've lost our identity. You don't have an identity yet.
Their identity is stabbing people in the back.
It's gonna be really interesting. I
would love to have them, but like if we don't get them, like I don't know, like Paul Maurice is cool.
So here's I got a list of 4 names right here.
Yeah.
So, Paul Maurice is on that list. I threw this out earlier, and I still like the idea of it. Jim Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be a good just because he's worked with college age younger guys, and he did a great job with Dallas. He knows how to develop players. I'm gonna butcher his name. Red Wings ex coach Jeff Blashill.
Oh, Blashill.
Yeah, I think he potentially could be a fit. I think that the only reason he got let go is because the Geyser plan. He's ready to take that next step with that team, I think, and I think Jeff is more of a development coach and not, that next level. And then outside, you just stick with Derek King, and I think that's the worst option. But
Derek King is just like until we get somewhere, like
give him another year.
Yeah, why not? I mean, unless they somehow land Barry Trotz or I don't know, Paul Maurice. I don't know.
I just would prefer, my personal opinion is I just would prefer them to get whoever the Nets coach is going to be. It's going to be the guy that's going to go through this rebuild and give the opportunity to put his mark on the team.
Right.
Yet I'm done with this new system every year, Nets guy up, all this kind of stuff. I need some consistency. Like,
yeah, I mean, it would be great to
it would benefit the players. It would benefit the organization. Make it Barry.
Make it Barry. Yeah.
Other than that, do you have anything else for Hawks talk?
No.
All right. So we'll switch over to NHL talk. Let's do a quick playoff update. Let's look at the series really quick. We've got only one done so far. The Colorado Avalanche swept the Nashville Predators, as Daryl Sutter said, the waste of an 8 days for the Nashville Predators.
What a quote.
Yeah. So that one, the major thing that I saw with that series is the scary moment with Kemper getting the stick right in between the cage, hits in the eye. He sat out game 4. They said he will be good to go for the second round. Still scary situation. Let's see. Why don't they just pull me the brackets here? Okay, here we go. Minnesota, St. Louis are tied 2-2. Marc-Andre Fleury is halfway to us potentially getting a first round pick there. Calgary and Dallas are also tied 2-2. Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings are tied 2-2. Florida, Washington tied 2-2. Toronto, Tampa tied 2-2. Boston and Carolina tied 2-2. And the Pittsburgh is leading the New York Rangers 3-1.
Yeah, that one pisses me off.
Is that the surprise of the playoffs so far?
Yeah, man. Because what the fuck? They don't have Tristan Jarry or Casey DeSmith. They're going with Louis Domingue, and he's got
spicy pork, baby.
Wait, Casey DeSmith won the first game, not the second or third. I'm just wondering, how the fuck does Pittsburgh keep doing this shit? Because that happened, back in 2016? when Matt Murray won the first one, he was not the fucking backup. He was the second backup.
Right.
Like, he was the third string. Like, Fleury went down, and then was it Jari at the time too? Like, he went down.
Jari. Yeah.
And then Murray took him all the way. And then they, for whatever reason, like, they're completely fine in the playoffs when like two of their fucking goalies go down. I don't know how that works. It's just been a weird goaltending like playoffs too, because like Freddie Anderson's not playing right now. They got Antti Ranta playing in Carolina, and then he gets hurt, and they have Kochev. I can't even remember what his name was. I should have pulled it up too, but he won game 2 in Carolina?
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? UC Saros didn't get to play at all these playoffs, which is a huge reason why Nashville had basically no chance. They started with David Riddick and got destroyed and went to their third string, Connor Ingram, who ended up almost stealing a game for them in one close game where I think they lost 2-1.
I don't think Saros changes that series. I think it's closer.
I think Saros does.
I don't know.
He's incredible, and I think he just gets better when he gets fucking shelled too. But I think he's the type of goalie that could steal a series. I don't like there's not many of them in the playoffs right now. Like the last time a goalie stole a series, I can like really remember. I guess like Carey Price would be stealing series last season, but the one that makes the most, or the one that I keep thinking about all the time, is the matchup like from Vegas's first season, and it was Fleury versus Quick, and it was just like 1-0 games for 4 games, and it was just it was insane.
Darling 2015 maybe.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like. But the Hawks weren't outmatched that series.
That's fair. You're right.
You know, like I'm saying, when they steal a series, like
gotcha.
Like that's what UC Saros I think could have stole a series against Colorado. Like you get on for a few days and bam, that's 3 fucking wins. It's just like okay. What else? Who else has been like kind of surprising goalie wise? Like Boston's flipping between Swayman and Allmark. I think Swayman's in right now. What other? Oh, Husso has been playing over Binnington, but now Binnington played the last game. But it's just, I think the thing that we mentioned before was just like it's so surprising that Cam Talbot hasn't seen any ice time.
Yeah, the disrespect, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
For some reason, Washington's goalies want to start like playing well. Like
that series is pissing me off.
Goes from being like one of the highest scoring teams in the league to playing like probably one of the worst goaltending teams that's in the playoffs, and they are fucking having these really close games.
I hate this Florida series so much. I want the series to be over with Florida moving on. I cannot.
Yeah,
my bracket is ruined if Washington wins.
I think I like that it's a little bit of in Edmonton and LA, it's a little bit of a resurgence for Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even expected to be the starter this season. And he didn't really start most of the games either.
Doesn't he now have the most shutouts?
By an American-born goalie. Yep.
Yeah, in playoffs with 10?
Yeah. I think he just passed Tom Barrasso.
His that last series, or that last game that he got the shutout, and he had that whole series where he didn't have his glove. And he's sitting there just, oh, God. He's so good. Like when he's on, man, he is so good.
That's the shit, man. That's the type of goalie that steals a series. Like we've seen him do it like 10 years ago for sure. But like that's one of the things that I love about the playoffs is when you do find that series where there's the goalie that's just like nothing is getting past him, and if it does, the other team's like, I can't believe we fucking did it. Like we got one.
Yeah.
But those are always so fucking exciting to watch. Oh my God. It sucks to be on the other side of that because you're like, we can't buy a fucking goal. But watching that, those are more exciting to me than these fucking blowouts that have been happening.
So I was about to say real quick here too, how underwhelming have these playoffs been? Like you would think hearing all those series that are tied 2-2, oh my God, it's amazing hockey. This is the most boring like playoff hockey ever. Like every series has had at least 1 or 2 games that it's been at least 4 or 5 goal differential in a game.
the whole Toronto and Tampa series has been first to 5 goals basically wins the game
So here,
because
okay, let's break this down really quick. All right, Florida Panthers, Washington Capitals, 5-1 Panthers, 6-1 Capitals. So there's 2 games. Yeah, like you said, 5-0 Toronto, 5-3. So that one's kind of close, but then 5-2 Maple Leafs, 7-3 Lightning, Hurricanes 5-1, Hurricanes 5-2, Bruins 4-2, Bruins 5-2.
some of these are empty netters though too. I'm just
Fair,
saying like
but
these like 6, 5, 6, 7 goal games
7-2
that aren't
Penguins
empty
over
netters because
Rangers.
they're like 5-0 at the end of like the second period. It's just been like crazy.
6-0 Oilers, 8-2 Oilers.
7-3 Avalanche.
It's like
Penguins 7-4. Also, the fact that the Penguins put up back-to-back 7-goal games against the Rangers and like Shesterkin, who's probably going to win the Vezina, is just ridiculous.
actually he's regretting that wave now.
I think that like Colorado put up like 2 7-goal games.
Yeah, Colorado was 7-2 and 7-3.
Yeah, 7-2, 2-1, 7-3, and then 5-3.
It's just I guess it's nice because these late games, it's like you watch the first period and like, oh, cool, game's over, I can go to bed.
I like it's more exciting when they're close games, you know, like when it's in the last minute, like the last Panthers and Capitals game.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You get a goal with the goalie pulled, you get the OT, and then they complete the comeback.
Which people bitching that
That's
was
just
goaltender
so
interference was not goaltender interference. That was a good goal.
Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
There's only one multi-overtime game so far, and that was game 1. Like, game 1 of each series felt like this was going to be an awesome playoffs, and then it's just, I feel like it's just dipped.
What's been your most surprising series, you think?
Not including the Rangers and Penguins, because I think both
So,
agree with that one.
Penguins.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one, but like we already kind of talked about that one being like a surprise. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Florida Capitals. Like, I honestly felt like the Panthers were set up to like just walk away through that first round and just gear up for whoever it's gonna be out of Toronto and Tampa.
I'm saying Calgary and Dallas.
That one is, yeah. I'm surprised Dallas has been hanging as much as they have.
Yeah, they against a team that Markstrom had fucking 9 shutouts this year. He starts the game. He starts the series with a 1-0 shutout, and I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be pretty
Here we
exciting."
go.
Stars 2-0 shutout the next game, and you're like, "Oh, they returned the favor." But the fact that the Stars have been hanging in with the Flames, who just kind of like rolled through the Western Conference a bit this year too. I'm surprised that Dallas is tied right now with them, but I think it was the other thing that's been brought up by a few people is the fact that like I don't think Johnny Gaudreau is like really showing up too much in the playoffs. I guess
he had a sick penalty shot goal last game.
Yeah, it's a fucking penalty shot.
Oh, I know, but still, sick goal's a sick goal, bud.
Is Johnny Hockey built for fucking playoff time?
What was the stat? Like out of 350 active players, he's like 346 with most for like points or even strength points or something in the playoffs or something like that.
It was something along those lines where it's just like, wow, how does the guy with like the most even strength points in the regular season basically just not show up at all in the playoffs? But it makes sense. Like when the playoffs are like do or die and everybody's like throwing their bodies everywhere and they're basically out there to kill each other.
Okay, here we go.
He's fucking way too small.
Here we go. Since 2017, out of all 350 players that have played at least 200 5v5 minutes in the playoffs, Johnny Gaudreau ranks 346 in 5v5 points. I'm saying, is that 60 or per 60? I don't know. The only
per 60.
Okay, the only 4 players he's ahead of are defensemen, and he ranks dead last among forwards.
Yikes!
Woof.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that's the case.
It's just like the first comment reply to that tweet. That's a cool stat.
Hey man, good job. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm excited though because I think like the playoffs are just going to get better. I don't know if some of these teams are nervous. There's also, like we said, there's a lot of inexperienced goalies. There's a poster, like a tweet going around that's been showing like at one point, like the goalies that were starting in net, and it's like
Yep, got that right here too.
Jake Ettinger, Ville Husso,
Domingue, Ingram, the dude from Carolina. I'm not even gonna attempt. Swayman,
Kochev or something.
Kochettkov.
Oh,
Kochev,
Kochekov,
and Ottinger.
Kocheket. I don't know. And
So
Ettinger, yeah.
Ettinger, yeah. 75,000 or 750,000, 750,000, 750,000, 842,000, 925,000, 925,000.
Yeah, and it's just Swayman was on there too, right? So it's like
Yeah.
like you don't have to pay a goalie, but it's like okay, first of all, Swayman is a rookie. That's why he's not getting like so much, and he's gonna get fucking paid. Ettinger is on his rookie deal still too, and he's gonna get fucking paid. Ingram is a third string like goalie. Louis Domingue's a third string goalie. Ville Husso is I think he's on a rookie deal. I don't even remember if he was signed as like a free agent or what, but also he's gonna get fucking paid. If you still got 5 years left at $6 million going to Binnington, yikes.
Oh, you can't afford him.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? I'm excited about that, especially since he got showed up during the season. Let's see, Husso, Ville. He was drafted in 2014. So he's just on. It's not a rookie deal. It's just like just keeping him in the system kind of deal.
Yeah.
For $750K.
So he signed a 2-year deal or 3-year deal from 2016. Wait a second, this was weird.
That was his rookie deal.
Deal.
He's been basically getting pro
1 year.
deals,
Yeah, 1 year deal.
Minors.
Yeah, after his rookie deal was over, he signed a 1-year deal, and then after that, he signed a 2-year deal, which is about to expire.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Maybe this year was just like he was hot, and maybe that's it. But I don't know.
I hope.
Those are the things. Like these aren't like guys that were like signed and brought in to be starters, and
Right.
like now they're starting in the playoffs. It's like no, these guys were signed to be like backups or third stringers, or they're rookies, and it's like like you don't need to pay a goalie. It's like I don't know, man. Like what you can say, Cale Makar. Like, is he have his new deal yet?
I think it kicks in next year, if I'm thinking.
Here, let me pull him up. Cale Makar, he's on his $9 million deal right now. I'm trying to think of like what would be a good example of just like a rookie that's playing well in the playoffs. But it's like that's basically saying the same shit. Like, like there's no reason to pay these players like so much with like this guy's doing it at this price. It's like I don't know, man. That's not really reflective of like the play that they're doing or the spot that they're put into.
What am I looking for? Oh, Colorado.
It's just so stupid. Although I do think like probably shouldn't pay a goalie like close to $10 million, but I think the perfect contract for goalies is like a 6x6.
Makar's already started.
Yeah, I saw that. It's his first year of his $9 million deal.
Sorry, I zoned out there.
No, you're good.
All right, the last thing as I'm going through like stuff we've been sharing about stuff in this playoffs and all that.
Stuff about stuff, hell yeah.
For the fourth time in the last 6 best-of-7 series, the Leafs took a 2-1 series lead, and we have seen how that has worked out. They are currently down 2-1 against Tampa, going into the third.
Third just started. Series tied 2-2.
Toronto fans, are you nervous? Are you worried?
I'm sure they are. There's zero confidence for this team in the playoffs. You're playing the back-to-back fucking Stanley Cup champions, man. Like
what is so funny to me is that I consider myself a Toronto fan. Like I like Toronto. I want them to lose. I want them to lose because I want to see what they do to try to fix this and change this coming off season. Because there's no way you just make one little change at goalie or all this kind of stuff.
That's all they've been trying to do the last.
Right, exactly. Years. Like that's all they've been doing. Like there's no way that flies again this year.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna plan to do anything. What do we have? We have nobody on LTIR that we can give them. Be like, hey man, here's some cap space.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That it's gonna be interesting. So I don't know. Any other little thoughts on the playoffs?
I think it's really funny that Gerard Gallant called the Rangers soft, and he apparently had them doing like suicides. Did you see
Good
that?
coaching. Good coaching.
Yeah, man. He must have watched Miracle recently.
Oh man, I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully, this gets a little bit tighter as like this playoffs go on. Because if we keep having blowouts like this, I mean, I'm just gonna lose interest really fucking
Well, the
fast.
weirdest thing too is that, like they're blowouts in each direction. So like the series is tied. It's not like the Colorado series where it's a
That's
sweep
fair.
and
Yeah.
everybody's doing sweeps. It's like they're just blowing each other out, and it's fucking weird. It's like, all right, who's gonna show up to play today? Like it's the playoffs. Like, oh, we're gonna put up 7 today. You guys can do it next game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just so weird.
So
But whatever. Like, I mean, the games that are on currently are pretty close. I mean, not really. 2-1 Tampa, that one's close, but then 4-1 Carolina.
which I hope they fucking close this shit out next game too. Like,
I mean, whoever, like, if everybody just wins at home, then Carolina moves on.
right. But all right. The last thing I have here for NHL talk is Patrick Marlowe announced his retirement from the NHL.
Didn't play
Not
it all this year.
Yeah, didn't play it all this year. It was not a surprise. But what we were kind of talking about before we started recording, we were talking about his Ironman streak and how it's kind of BS that if he were to sign again and were to pick up playing, that his streak would continue. I don't like that rule. I think if the second an NHL game is played that you're not in,
Yeah.
you lose your streak.
Yeah. If you don't play a season, I don't think that should count towards a streak. Like if you don't play a season because you're hurt, like you can't fucking, like that's the whole reason. Like it's not just like, oh man, I played this many games, but I got hurt a couple, but it doesn't matter. It's like, or I didn't play because I wasn't signed by a team. It's like you're not signed by a team because like, how does that continue the streak? I don't get it.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But yeah, so does he go down? Where does he finish on that list of like best players to like never win a cup? Does he make that list?
I mean, it's a list. It's not a top 10. I'm trying to think of like who would there be? Oh, fucking Toronto just tied it. Like who's number 1? It's got to be like Lundqvist for me.
I think Lundqvist, yeah.
I think Lundqvist is up there. The Sedin twins, like as much as I fucking hate them, like they're probably some of the best players that never won. Jarom McGinley, as of right now, I think Joe Thornton would still be above him, even though he's still playing. Ryan Miller's
Another one.
pretty good. And these are all just like recent guys. Like I don't even know like if there's anybody in the past. Did Pavel Bure ever win one? I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Matt Sundin, I don't think he won one.
Yeah, I don't think he tops. Like he's not like when you think of it. I don't think he's like the guy.
Yeah.
But
he's like top 20 probably.
Probably
not top 5. I think his biggest like thing for him was the fact that he played the most games.
Yeah, I think that's really it. I mean,
he was a solid player. Like
23 seasons, 1,197 career points in 1,779 games. Leads first on the Sharks list in goals and points.
Carolina's up 5-1 right now.
And they took a 3-2 series lead. Made the playoffs in 17 of his 23 seasons.
Yeah, but that's like a team stat, you know? Like that's one of those things that's kind of wild to me is like
Or no, I'm sorry, that's just 17 was just with San Jose.
Okay. It's weird to me that like you take into consideration like something like team trophies when you're talking about like Hall of Fame. Like, oh, like does he make it? Because he never won a Stanley Cup. It's like, yo, man, that takes a full 18 guys at least and 2 goalies, like night in, night out. Or really 1 goalie, but like solid 25 group of guys. Oh shit, Toronto's up.
Oh, all right, well, let's wrap this up so we can watch the rest of this game here.
Electric in Toronto right now. It's gonna be so disappointing when Tampa comes back to tie this and fucking win it in OT.
All right, so it's episode 176. Tanner, what do you want to call it?
Who needs a 6th overall pick?
Who
Not us.
Needs
Not us.
6th pick. I'll say 6th pick. Keep it short. All right.
Just say, oh, what about we don't need a 6th overall?
Okay.
Oh, wait, before we go. Vezina and Norris Trophy final or nominees. Those came out too. And we were very close.
You nailed it with
I nailed
defense.
it on Norris.
Hedman,
Yossi,
and Makar. I still think Makar gets it, but probably not.
Yossi gets it.
Vezina was
Markstrom, Saros, and Shesterkin. And neither of us got that. I don't think either of us had Saros in there.
No, Saros was the odd man out. I'm still sticking with Shesterkin.
Yeah, Shesterkin.
Yeah, 100%. So, all right, episode
easy call on that one.
Yeah, episode 176. We don't need 6 overall. Make sure.
Don't need no first round pick now.
All right, so make sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, subscribe to the YouTube, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and on on Spotify. Follow social media at WCB Podcast. Follow the Hockey Pod Network at HockeyPodNet. DraftKings promo code THPN. I am stumbling all over this ending, but we were going to wrap it up, and we will see you on the next one.
Hell yeah, man. All right, love you, boys. Bye.